When these wounds are carried into marriage, they don't disappear. Rather, they turn into baggages. Unhealed wounds create guards, suspicion, and fear of getting hurt again. You may ask me, sis, what are the signs of unhealed wounds? And I'm going to let you know what those signs are. Marriage is a blessing. It is beautiful, but marriage cannot be an idol. If God never provides you a spouse, would you still be okay? I know that's a hard question, but it is a very important one. Today I'm sharing 3 things every woman must do while waiting to meet her spouse. These are the things that God used to transform my heart and to prepare me for marriage in ways that I didn't expect. This isn't about waiting idly. It is about waiting intentionally. Stay with me to the end of this video, because what I'm sharing last is something that I had to surrender before God trusted me with marriage, and it changed everything. The first thing you do as a woman, or even a man, if you're a man watching this video, is to deepen your walk with Jesus Christ. Okay? Let him be your first love. Let Jesus truly be your lover, your first love. After you surrender your life to Jesus, the next thing is to grow in your relationship with him. Letting him be your Lord. Knowing Jesus as your friend and as your lover. God wants to be our husband. He is already married to us, and he wants us to experience what it means to have him as our husband. Isaiah chapter 54 verse 5 says, "For your maker is your husband. The Lord of hosts is his name." And Hosea chapter 2 verse 16 tells us this, "In that day you will call me my husband." Sis, waiting season is not a gap. It is an invitation. An invitation to learn how to be single well. You know, a lot of women do not know what it means to be single. Many ladies have been in consecutive relationships, one after the other, that they've never learned to actually be single. They've never learned to actually be alone and actually know how to receive their affirmation, their love from God. They've always received it from the opposite sex. Your waiting season is an opportunity where you get to experience the love of God, where Jesus gets to affirm you, comfort you, and meet your emotional needs. Not because you want something from him, but because you genuinely love him. This is the season to learn who Jesus is, to learn what pleases him, what grieves him. And this is when his love begins to overflow from your heart to others. And that overflow of love from God is what prepares your heart to love another person, to love your future spouse. Sis, the second thing you need to do while you wait to meet your spouse is to allow God to heal your heart. As you learn to know Jesus as your lover, something special, something significant begins to happen. Jesus begins to heal your heart. Psalm 147 verse 3 says, "He heals the brokenhearted and he binds up their wounds." This healing from God is important to our relationship with the Lord and to our relationship with others, because this healing touches wounds from past relationships, disappointments, friendships, childhood, even family pain. God wants to heal us from those wounds. This healing is necessary because a wounded heart does not love freely. Rather, a wounded heart loves defensively. Unhealed wounds create guards, suspicion, and fear of being hurt again. I want to say it again. Unhealed wounds create guards, suspicion, and fear of getting hurt again. When these wounds are carried into marriage, they don't disappear. Rather, they turn into baggages. You may ask me, sis, what are the signs of unhealed wounds? And I'm going to let you know what those signs are. Signs of unhealed wounds often look like this. The person is always trying to fix, quote unquote, the relationship, even though there may be nothing wrong with the relationship. The person constantly sees the other partner as someone that needs fixing. So the person is constantly trying to fix the other person. There is constant offense. The person is emotionally sensitive. The individual is always feeling like the victim, and the person believes that they are always right. Anything that happens in the relationship, they are always right. Whatever decision they make is the best decision. Whatever they say is the right thing. They are never wrong. And instead of enjoying love, the focus becomes control and correction. And that is why we need to invite God to search us now. We need God to search our hearts and reveal where those unhealed wounds are. Psalm 139 verse 23 and 24 says, "Search me, God, and know my heart. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in your way everlasting." Healing before marriage makes room for a healthy marriage, makes room for an enjoyable marriage, makes room for a love-filled marriage, and not a marriage to be endured. Sis, if you're enjoying this video, I encourage you to like it. I encourage you to also share it, okay? And while you're at it, please subscribe, okay? So last but not least, the third thing you need to do while you wait to meet your spouse is, you might not be expecting it, is to surrender the idol of marriage. Yes, this one is hard, especially for us women. Marriage has become the idea that most women idolize. A lot of women want to get married. We idolize marriage. We envision the day of our wedding. Some of us have our Pinterest board ready. We have the type of wedding dress we're gonna wear, the colors we're gonna have, and all kinds of things. We already have everything mapped out concerning our wedding day. But what if that day never comes? God forbid. Will you still love God? What if that dream you have about your wedding day, about your wedding dress, the wedding ceremony, all those things, what if they never come to pass? Will God still be your Lord? Will He still be your lover? This is a very tough question. We need to come to the place where we settle this in our hearts. This is almost about to make me tear up, right? We need to come to the place where we settle this in our hearts and we say, God, even if I don't get married at the age that I want to get married, or For whatever reason, even if I don't get married, I will still love you. I want to say it again. We need to come to the place, this is a hard place to come to, where we settle it in our heart and we say to God, God, even if it happens that I don't get married at the age that I want to, or I don't get married at all, Lord, I will still love you. It's scary saying this. Sometimes you might even shake or cry saying this because it goes deep. This was the same thing that I said many years ago before I met my husband. When I recognized how marriage had become an idol in my heart, I knew that I needed to surrender it to the Lord. I came to a time in my life where I said those words. God, even if I don't get married, I will still love you. Marriage is a blessing. It is beautiful, but marriage cannot be an idol. It cannot be our idol when we're seeking God. We cannot have any other God except Jesus. And if marriage wants to come and take the place of God in our hearts, then it has to be pulled down. For me, this was a hard saying because I truly desired to be married. I truly desired to have my own husband and my own children and my family, my own family. When I got saved, when I became born again, one of the things they instructed us to do was to pray for our husbands. And I started to pray for my husband from an early age in my walk with God. But I had to reach a point where I surrendered that desire to God completely. It was painful. It hurt. But I knew I needed to surrender it to God. I had to say and mean it. I had to say, Lord, even if I don't get married, I will still love you. That day felt like Abraham laying down Isaac on the altar to be sacrificed. That day I sacrificed marriage in my heart. And I believe that it was after I made those declarations to God that God knew that nothing would compete with Him in my heart, not even marriage. And what happened next was amazing. The same thing that I laid down, the same thing that I sacrificed, just like Abraham, God gave it back to me. A few years later, I met my husband. We got married 2 years later, and it's been almost 13 years of marriage. All to the glory of God. I give God all the praise. Some people compromise their faith. Some people compromise their love for Jesus because they are afraid of losing a relationship. They decide to let go of God instead of letting go the person. But when you put God first, marriage becomes a gift that God gives you that you will truly enjoy. Sis, waiting is not punishment. It is preparation. If you allow God to be your first love, to heal your heart, and to sit on the throne above marriage, then you won't just be ready for a spouse, but you will be ready to live out the life of Christ on this earth, which is the most important thing. If you have enjoyed this video, I encourage you to watch my other videos where I share 3 people that should never choose your spouse for you. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. Like I said, please like this video, share it, and also subscribe. Thank you so much, so much, so much. And God bless you. Bye.